Legislative project, what is it? All right. Anybody do a mock legislature back in? Okay. Yeah. Others? A few of you. Okay. Well, that's all it is. Basically, it's a mock legislature, same process. We're not going to take you up to Capitol. We're not going to put you in the legislator's desk. We're going to do it here on campus, but it's the same process. You're going to do basically the first 3 steps of the policy process, as the text talks about, the building, formulating, and adopting. You're going to do those first 3 steps. All right, that's what the legislature does. Those are the legislative powers. Building is the identifying of the problem. Right? Formulation is the brainstorming the solution, getting together with other like individuals, and, other individuals who would offer maybe some input into the process. And then at the end of the day, after you've gotten all your inputs, then you adopt. You choose a course of action. And that's the job of the legislature. You guys are going to do it. We're starting it way up here, or at least introducing it way up here, but it doesn't really come into effect until after spring break, after major test 2, the 20th of April is when you need to have this completed by, okay? And there'll be time within to this research day. There'll be different times to make sure that you guys can have some time to dedicate to the legislative project, to the legislation. The product that you're producing, what you're making, is a bill, a mock piece of legislation, a bill. So you are identifying the problem, and then you're crafting its solution. You're writing down the solution, how you would solve it. And that's what the legislative project is. If you roll back and you click on that legislative project link, you'll pull open the assignment written. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. You're really at step 1, but the paper assignment is not your typical thesis research paper. Though research is certainly required, the effort you put forth will be exhibited in the legislative project itself rather than in the paper. All right, so it's not how perfect you can make the paper, okay, that matters. It's the process in general. This is where the participation component, not only in the group tests, but the participation, you've got to be here for this. This doesn't work if you're at home regarding this process. In short, it's up to you to understand fully the problem you've identified and the solution, with the bill that you offer. Step 1, identify a problem that you believe should be addressed by the mock legislative body. A, choose a problem that you believe has a solution. B, make sure your identified problem is something the bulk of your fellow students will be able to identify with. And C, make sure your problem is not so large as to have a solution that cannot be addressed within basically the 2-week period. Okay, don't try to end world hunger. It's not going to happen within that 2-week discussion. All right, it's just too complex of an issue to try to get done within the 2 weeks. Try to find something. Think of a problem that maybe the person sitting next to you would also believe was a problem. Okay, or at least can understand why you might think it's a problem. If you might have a hobby in whatever, ham radios or radio controlled cars or something like that. Well, look at the person next to you. If you got this real specific hobby and it's very technical, or there's not maybe a lot of interest beyond you and a handful of other individuals. There may be some problems with it, and yes, you may understand that up and down as an issue. But if the person sitting next to you does not understand it, you're going to have a huge learning curve within the 2-week process of trying to make them understand why it's an issue, why it's a problem, why it needs to be corrected. Hang on 1 second. Do you have a... Okay, go ahead.
Does it have to pertain to the United States?
Not. As a matter of fact, I don't want it to pertain to the United States, but specifically the United States. But I don't want it to pertain outside the United States for sure. As a matter of fact, I'd rather have it pertain to the state of Michigan, hopefully Calhoun County, and even better still, how about KCC's campus? Because everybody has KCC's campus in common. Right? You're all here. You're all students here. So if there's an issue here on campus, you can understand where, all right, now it's relatable. Other individuals are going to have an understanding of what it is that you identify as that the food court doesn't stay open long enough. Or, I propose that we have a policy that the food court stays open until
like small stuff like that.
Yeah, small stuff like that is fine. Again, world hunger. The larger the stuff is, the more difficult it becomes. Now that's fairly easy. but that's okay, because again, the discussion, the debate, you're going to have to do some research. That research is a little less, I guess it's a little more proactive than just going on to Google or something, pulling up facts and figures. You're going to have to find out, all right, why do you close at 3 o'clock? What's the cost of staying open later? And you have to go out and find that information. That's going to, I'm talking about the food court issue. You're going to have to do some detective work there. You're going to have to do some research there. Versus if you pulled something that was more online, maybe a little broader, maybe more available, you could do your research then, without having to necessarily do that investigative work. Go ahead.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be the cases either. Right?
No, right, exactly. It doesn't have to be, and it can be really whatever your interest is, but just try not to make it too broad. I mean, we're not going to end the abortion issue today or in the next 2 weeks. We're not going to stop, earthquakes in California in the next 2 weeks. Okay, I mean, those things are just, we can't get our hands really around those, and in the amount of time that I want you to take to get to know your information, make it learnable, and make it not only learnable but explainable. Think about that. You're going to have to explain this issue. Okay, go ahead. Okay, all right. Oh, well, that's all right. I'll come back. It'll sneak right back in there, I'm sure. All right. Well, listen. I'm one of the only professors who will tell you that plagiarizing is a-okay. Now, not for most things, but for this assignment it is, because if you're savvy, the work is already done for you. If you go to MichiganLegislature.org, these guys have already identified the problems and crafted potential solutions to them over a whole litany of different things. As the online instructions give, go to bills, search bills by category, show bills. Now this is the session 2009-2010. This is our current session. And you can pull up, you can pull up by category. You can pull up all these different areas. So maybe you got a penchant for animals, or maybe you're in the construction trade, or maybe you're very active with, or maybe you have a relative who has a disability. All right, so very good. All right, so let's pick something here. Was there something? Did I see higher education someplace or something like that? Here we go. Higher education. Okay, click Show Bills, and this will give you the different bills that are working. Now this one's already been passed. Anything you see a PA next to it, it's already been passed. So this is liquor licenses, license to serve alcohol on certain premises of Wayne State University. All right.
How will we get that here?
Here's one that's also been passed. The community college investment of surplus funds in certain certificates of deposit. Well, that's not as cool as the other one. Here's concealed weapons, no carry zones, exempt college campuses. All right, so there's a lot of discussion out there about allowing individuals who've been properly permitted to carry a concealed weapon legally on campus. Now this is where, again, plagiarizing is fine. See something that you like, you pull it up. Here's the bill. It's already written for you. You can print off a copy of this, put your name on it, and bring it in. I'm good with that. Now here's the problem with that. You've got to know this issue. That's right.
You've got to be able to back it up.
Right, exactly. And that information, now you can know just from your sponsors, you might contact your legislative sponsors here to say, hey, what background do you have regarding this, and whatever the issue might be. And your primary sponsor is always the first individual listed. That's the primary sponsor. Now, it may include co-sponsors, but the primary sponsor is always the individual who introduces the legislation. So Richard Bill would be the primary sponsor in this piece of legislation. And then this is they all start out the same way, a Bill 2, that tells you what it does. In this case, it's amending Public Act of 1927. All right, so it's an old law, it's been in a while, but it probably has to do with firearms in general. And you're amending a specific act here, and that's